Did you know Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company? They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just quarterback Peyton Manning, I'm also meditating Manning. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Craven the Hunter, who uses all the methods of the animals.
On December 13th.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
Are you like your father?
He puts evil into the world. I get rid of people like him.
Who's next?
Witness the making of a new Marvel villain.
You think you're some kind of honor. You're a criminal, just like our father.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is Craven the Hunter. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent. In theaters December 13th.
It's been a while, guys. How y'all been?
Good. Very well.
Don't sound very well, but I'm gonna take it.
We stuff from dressing and mac and cheese, itis food.
Do they eat dressing in Atlanta?
What kind of question is that? I mean, it's a quote unquote black city. I mean, I wouldn't know, bro, because the soul food restaurants I went to, they don't have dressing on the menu, but that's not something I will eat at a restaurant. I mean, it has to be made. I have to see the stove if I'm
that's
the
the home food dressing.
I thought Chili's was, but I mean, Vince told us otherwise. That's something he's willing to take.
No, that's not what I've said. That's said.
Don't eat outside chili.
Outside chili is not really. It's not something you should do. But I've tried Skyline Chili only because they talk about it so much, and I have tried Tommy's. Tommy's in LA. There's like a sloppy Joe chili dog type of establishment. Wow. I've had that, and I was like, never again. It messed up a whole day of mine on my trip, and you know why.
You know why.
I'm glad to hear you all enjoyed your holiday, man. Both Chicago Bulls, they are 25% into their season. So let's get a quick report. Let's do this report card style. A, B, C, D, F. Where would you say the Bulls in the first marking period of the season?
C minus. I would say C minus.
I felt you would say that because the Bulls are just—they're doing what you.
D pause, but
why would you say no? D is you can't even bring a D into my household. Why would they be a D? Pause.
I don't want to say they should be better than what they are, but
no, say that. I mean,
I don't want them to be better than what they are. They should,
but they should though. They should though. They should be better than what 9-12, 9-13. They should be better. As we're watching them play the Brooklyn Nets right now, they're up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this game is over. Yeah, should be.
Yeah, it's 11 minutes left in the fourth. The Bulls are up 15. So I think the Bulls should be better than what they are. I agree with you, Zeke. That's why you saying D. It's like that's kind of shocking. Vucci man has been healthy. Zach has been healthy. I saw a stat. I think we did a show last year, and I was saying Zach should be on the watch list because I think his knees were done. I think he's had too many leg injuries. He couldn't even jump anymore. He couldn't dunk. He had 13 total dunks last year. He's got over 4. He got over 15 so far already this year.
Hey, how many games did he play last year?
35, I think.
And he had more than 50.
Yeah, but just watching him, he didn't have a lot of lift. Yeah, so those two guys are playing outside of their mind right now. Especially when you consider where they are in their careers. Kobe, he's taking a backseat to those two guys. Obviously, you expect that. Giddey has been a pleasant surprise.
Would you attribute Zach playing better to him trying to audition for another team, or no?
Well, I mean, motivations are irrelevant, but to me, but you see that a lot in pro
Okay.
sports when guys are looking for a new deal or looking to get out of the current situation. You see a different version of their game, right? So I wouldn't put it past them, but the motivating factor is irrelevant to me. I think he's been balling. I mean, case closed.
Yeah.
Right.
That is
but
a
yeah,
show up to work and do well guy anyway. You don't really half-ass it.
no. In addition to him, Vooch, Kobe, there's been a lot of things pointing up, and Lonzo Ball coming back, and I want to talk a lot about him right now. I think all of those things, the Bulls should be better than 9-12, 9-13, whatever. What's the record? 9-12 or 9-13?
They're about to be
12.
9 and 12. They're about
10 and 12. So
They're about to be 10-12 when they win this game against the Nets. Okay, they should be better than that. I know their schedule ain't been that easy, but they still should be better than that. But Lonzo Ball, he's been back. He's been busting out of his minute restriction. He's only supposed to be on a 16-minute per game allotment, but he's been playing more than that. How are you all? How is he looking to you all? How are you all feeling about his return?
He's definitely a positive in regards to the team. Lonzo is definitely a guy that he doesn't have to score to affect the game, which makes him a very good player. So with that being said, a lot of the things that he doesn't necessarily show up in the box score. And considering that he just came back from a 2-year hiatus, shows that he's an asset to the team, even though they're trying to ship him. But I don't think you can get much for him. But I
you think
mean,
they should keep him?
I mean, if you can get something for him, get something for him. But he's only got 1 year left on his deal.
I think somebody would take him.
Yeah, take a flyer on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely on the trade market. I saw the report that the Bulls are actively looking for trade partners for Vooch, Zach, and Lonzo. What's some of the things that he's playing well? What's some of the things that he's doing?
He's a defensive guy, stalwart. So when he's on the court, he's locking down. He's getting deflections. He's getting steals, and that's good overall for the team. Like I said, Lonzo doesn't have to score. He doesn't even have to pass. He just has to play defense.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things the Bulls have been sorely missing since he got that injury a few seasons back. That defense, that guy that can play three perimeter spots on the defensive side of the floor. When he was healthy with the Bulls last, him, Caruso, DeRozan, they were kind of tough to score on.
Yeah.
That tees back to this stat I have right here. We talked about this on the Central Division Showdown. Plus minus, the Bulls are under 500. Obviously, there'll be 2 games under 500 at the conclusion of tonight, but they rank 25th in plus minus league round. They have a plus minus of coming into this game. It was almost -6. Lonzo Ball, he leads the team with plus minus at 2.8, and he's averaging less than 16 minutes per game. I think that speaks to how smart he is as a player.
Yeah.
2, how good he is as a defender, and 3, that he might be back. He's had his minute restriction raised to 20 minutes.
Yeah. But you got to be cautious with that because he's still, you know what I'm saying? You don't
still got to get a lather.
You still got to warm up per se. So you don't want to overexert him and risk him to any further injury.
That's true. You got to protect the player from himself. Definitely got to protect the asset too, right? You because you do want to get something out of him before the trade deadline arrives at your door. Let's play GM. If you could have your way, right? Within reason. You was able to trade Vooch, you was able to trade Zach, you was able to trade Lonzo Ball. What would you be looking for?
Some good draft picks.
You want picks for all three?
Yeah, I just want. I mean, in a perfect world,
At least for two of them.
I just want capital. I just want draft capital. I want to be able to.
What kind of draft capital could you get for Lonzo Ball, who's on a minute restriction right now for 20 minutes? Vooch is in his 12th or 13th season, and Zach, who's in his 10th season.
If a team is desperate enough, you can. Yeah, I mean, if a team is desperate enough, they definitely will. They definitely will up the ante. They'll definitely pay, but I mean, you're right. And that's why I said in a perfect world, I would like draft capital. But realistically, I think what's going to happen is they're going to ride this out. And I don't know
who
the Bulls. They're going. I don't know like what takers you're going to get, and if you do have takers, what are you going to get?
Oh, you don't think they're going to take just any offer just to get rid of him?
I mean, it makes a good point as far as what can you get for Vooch? You know what I'm saying? You're not getting a lottery first round lottery pick for Vooch.
What about a decent talent?
When you're looking at you're going to have to look at an up and coming guy, like a guy that's for that you would have to look at someone like Cam Thomas, and I'm just using him for example. You have to look at someone that hasn't reached his apex, but is ascending.
We can't get a young guy for Vooch.
I mean, you can, but I mean, it'd have to be a playoff team that's one player away, which is a big man that could pick and pop. I've heard OKC, which they have a lot of riches.
We already traded with them, though.
I mean, we can trade with them again. But realistically, you're looking for a guy that's, who would you would say, and I'm not saying this player, but someone like Bones Highland, someone that could be like, if he had the time, he would be like a beast.
He's showing flashes.
Yeah, he's showing flashes that that's what you would get out of,
might need a change of scene. Well,
he had a change. He's had a change, but like a Bones Highland, and for the people that's going to chime in, people that's going to chime in, like I'm not saying the Bones Highland, but if you know basketball, Bones Highland is a guy that is a very good player. He just needs to start.
Where is he? Clippers?
Yeah, you're rotting on the bench.
Right. Yeah.
Let's use the Clippers as an example. You could take a young player like Bones Highland, who's not getting any tick, right? I think you could use it to your advantage in negotiations as well. But would you take a guy like Bones Highland and take their, let's say, and I know the Clippers probably don't have a dearth of draft pick capital because they gave it all the way to Oklahoma City, but just spitballing, you'll take a guy like Bones Highland and say, we'll take 2 seconds and a first a couple of years down the road. Would that be good for Vooch?
Wait, you said a couple of firsts? You
would get Bones Highland right now. You get a couple of seconds, like this year's second, next year's second, and the first maybe protected 2 years from now.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
I would take that.
I just don't want to trade and get nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to get cash.
You can't trade and get nothing.
And
I don't want cash consideration. Do they still do that? Cash consideration?
Yes, the Bulls are always doing cash considerations. The Bulls are laundering money for some type of outfit.
Also, I don't want just second round picks years from now from a team that it don't even matter if it's second round pick. I don't want second round picks years from now. You gotta get something a little bit better than a second round pick, I would hope.
If I can't get first round capital, I would like a player that needs a change of scenery, like Josh Giddey when they traded for him. And people don't realize this. Josh Giddey is doing better than Alex Caruso. Head to head.
Yeah.
I mean, because Caruso's injured, but
Mhm.
Caruso's not really doing much in OKC.
Caruso just a defensive guy, pretty
Right,
much.
but when we got Giddey, it was known that like he just needs to be like a starter, and you could show, that he's a able and capable starter,
Mhm.
and he is. So you need that. We want to trade for that type of player.
First triple double for Giddey this season.
Good segue.
I didn't bet it.
But you definitely want a player that looks for a change of scenery and that's looking to spread his wings, so to speak.
Mhm.
How many players in the league right now can you name off the top of your head are players that you can target in that type of situation? You name Bones Highland. Who else is out there?
KCP.
You're not gonna trade. He just signed.
He's a bit older. Why would you want KCP
Well,
though?
It change of scenery.
He just changed the scenery last offseason.
He ain't doing that good though.
He just signed. And this is your boy. Hey, I would take like a Cam Johnson. I would take him. I would take
Terry Rozier.
Very good player. It's
I
your,
would
it's your
take- I
shit.
don't like
Scary. You want Scary Terry? Go right ahead.
I don't like Scary Terry.
He could probably use a change of scenery.
But I mean, Scary
He's
Terry.
in trade rumors already.
But
too.
Scary Terry is also
He doesn't because he doesn't fit the
doesn't move
Miami.
and he doesn't move the needle either.
He's 30 actually.
He doesn't move the needle. But if you get someone like Cam Thomas, we were just on the show with them. I mean, I know they wouldn't do this, but if you get a Jaden Ivey, you know what I'm saying, and they're not in no position to give up on Jaden Ivey, but you got to look at a veteran team. Like you got to go to the Lakers, a team that's trying to win now, or the Bucks.
So it can't be a bottom of the barrel.
It's
team.
not going to be a bottom of the barrel team. It's got to be a contender that's looking to buy. You know what I'm saying? That's
Atlanta.
I mean, who do you want on Atlanta? We don't want Trae Young is not going to come here. Like
Kobe Buffkin.
Nah, they're probably because they're probably trying to get rid of Trae, so they want Kobe Buffkin. You're not gonna get Jalen Johnson. They already see what they have in him, so it's hard to just get guys like that. You can't get a Jalen Green or like them. You ain't doing that.
You obviously gotta target teams that are trying to make a move this year, right? Because they've already established that this is their window. They want to go strike now, and it will help that you get teams that are deep in talent who can ship off a couple of young guys that are not
Ain't got a lot of young guys.
yeah. And the team that I'm thinking about, Orlando.
Yeah, I've been telling. Yeah, I've told Zeke that. Yep.
Orlando is rich in young talent. But you can only play 5 guys at one time.
They do a lot of wings over there. A lot of wings.
They have a player. They have a backcourt player they have a couple of backcourt players who are pretty good, but because I think they've figured out their rotation, they're not going to stray away from that. Cole Anthony. And don't laugh. Cole Anthony, he's a hooper.
What college did he go to?
He went to the same college as Kobe. Kobe White. In fact, he was the point guard behind Kobe White. Now, I don't necessarily think that he would be a good fit for the Bulls, but this is the type of thinking that I'm thinking about. These are the type of targets you need to be making. Because if you're not going to get draft capital, and I don't think you are with these type of assets, I think you gotta start looking at young players who aren't necessarily in the rotation right now.
Yeah,
Cole Anthony is one of them. Bones Highland is one of them.
Mac McClung.
No,
he's not an NBA player.
He's on Orlando's roster.
You would want
he's a mascot.
The creme de la creme. You would want Kuminga. Like that is like the number one guy you would want.
Yeah, but I think for one of them guys,
you would want.
Do you think Golden State actually thinks they're contending this year? Like actually thinking they're?
Yeah, I think Golden State. Yes, they're a buyer. They're a buyer. Pay. You have
Golden State is drunk. And two, do you think Kuminga, aka the cum bucket, do you not think he's a part of their future plans?
I do think so, but I mean they're trying to win right now, and if they
they ain't got time to wait.
They ain't got time to waste Steph Curry's years. I mean, he's in year 15? Like, dude, they're trying to win today. They're not trying to wait on Kuminga to become a star. They're trying to appease Steph.
Yep, 15 years.
And
this guy last year, I thought this guy was the worst player in the league. But he's having a decent year so far this year. But maybe DC is a little tired of him. Maybe DC is like, man, we shouldn't have traded for this guy.
Don't say.
Yeah, I'm going to say it.
Kyle Kuzma.
No, not him. Not him. Draymond's best friend.
No, I don't want Jordan Poole.
I mean, that's a young building block.
No, he's.
I don't think him and Kobe White mesh well together.
No,
but these are the risks you got to take, though, right? Because you don't want to lose both of them. You don't want to lose all three of these guys for nothing.
True. Nothing would be second round picks, right?
No. Second round picks are better than Pat Williams right now. Which segue? So since our last episode, Pat Williams you all were dumping on Pat. You all were saying I'm tired of his 12-point nonsense. I thought he was playing well before he hurt himself. What's the latest? What kind of injury he got?
Inflammation in his foot, in his surgically repaired foot.
Could play through that, man.
But they said it's more. Now they're thinking it's more serious than that first. That's what they said.
Here we go again.
So he's got inflammation in his foot, and
hasn't played since November 18th.
I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, I can't say I'm shocked, but he's a head scratch. He just, I don't know. I have no words for her. I'm speechless when it comes to Pat Williams.
You are at loss for words for Pat Williams, the roller coaster that is Pat Williams' NBA career. What's the timetable on it? I think it was 4 to 6 weeks initially. So we're halfway through that?
No, initially it was just day to day. It was just inflammation.
That's something day to day.
Inflammation is not a timetable. That's like you feel good today? All right, we'll. Now it's like they don't know. They really don't know. So, I don't know. It's a wait and see. But in the meantime, Torrey Craig, who was a consummate pro, like he's doing well filling in for him. Like Torrey Craig is doing good filling in for Pat Williams. So, get healthy, Pat. But
yeah, Torrey Craig, Dylan Terry, all the rest. They've played respectable. This goes back to what I was saying. I think the Bulls should be better than what they are.
I was going to say I do like what I see out of THT Horton Tucker. He's also doing well coming off the bench when he gets minutes. And Matas, he still needs some seasoning, for lack of a better word. Like he's a rookie, he's still scared to shoot. When he's in when they swing the ball around. So, we're right now. We still, and we said this before, we still got no direction necessarily. So saying that we're better, they can go on a 2-3 game winning streak and be right back in the thick of the playoff hunt, but then we're back at the square of no direction.
Bulls are up 123-98. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game against the Brooklyn Nets. Lonzo Ball, 5 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, all in 13 minutes. Right there, why his plus minus is so high on this team. Because he comes in, he makes the most of his time on the floor. And I know some teams going to see this and they'll say, hey, they're going to do their due diligence, get a physical, blah, 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 do whatever they need to do. And they'll say, let's come rock out with us. Because that's the type of guy. Any point guard needy team, any backcourt needy teams is going to love him come trade deadline.
Yeah. For sure. They're definitely going to like Lonzo Ball, whatever. Because he doesn't, like I said before, he doesn't need the ball and he doesn't have to score to have an impact on the game. Willing to distribute, willing to come off the bench, do what's needed. So, I hope we can get something for him. I've always liked Lonzo Ball's game.
To go back to Pat, he says he's confident this latest injury isn't serious. So,
You all just told me it was serious.
He said he's confident it's not serious.
Okay. All right. Pat knows his body better than us. I mean, neither one of us have a medical degree. The Bulls are 8-13. They look like they're headed on their way to be 9-13 on the season. 14 of 35 from three. That's 42%. This is Bulls basketball. True or false?
Yeah. Unlike last year, and they didn't even need to hit 20. Their pace is up and down. They hoist a lot of threes this year. So this is on par. Actually, note that the Bulls, from what I saw as of Friday, they were second in the league in 3-pointers made, which was impressive.
Mm-hmm. You talked about Giddey earlier. I'm gonna just read off his stat line. 31 minutes, 20 points, 13 boards, 11 assists, a hair above 50% from the floor, 1 of 8 from 3. 5 turnovers to go along with 1 steal and 1 block. How would you all sum up his game tonight?
I don't like the turnovers, but that's very Giddey like. And the 1 of 8 for 3 is even Giddey like. He's not a 3-point shooter. I don't like him. I don't like him taking 8 threes. But if you told me he went, 2 for 7 from threes, it's like, all right, I'm not shocked.
I don't want him taking that many threes.
I don't either. But
I mean, if they're wide open, I guess you got to take them. But
you got to get the defense honest, right? I
don't want to get the ball and freeze.
5 turnovers from the Bulls. I mean, and I don't want to use the word premier, but their point guard of the future, well, their distributor of the future. 5 turnovers. How many turnovers does he average? Because Rick, you said that sounds Giddey like. How many turnovers does he average a game?
Without cheating, without seeing my phone checking, I would say 2.5. 2, probably close to 3.
Turnovers don't really bother me that much. I can see if he had 11 or 12, but if you're the main ball handler, you're going to.
Okay, no one's going to get 11 or 12 turnovers in a game.
I mean, he ain't no Tyus Jones.
Right. Or Chris Paul. But
so,
what?
No, go ahead, Rick.
No, I was going to say the turnovers is concerning, but in a win like today, it didn't affect us, and it's it's an inferior team, so those 5 turnovers didn't hurt.
He averages 2.6 for his career.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said 2 point something.
2.4.
Because the Bulls have the one of the highest pace in the game. Turnovers, to Zeke's point, they're not a big deal because you gotta get the ball back more so than most. If this was the 90s, 3 turnovers a game, you'd be on the bench. You be in Canada. What else from this game that you all take away from it? Because as I said, the Bulls have defeated the Brooklyn Nets 128-102. Well, the game is not technically over yet, but we can go ahead and call it. Yeah. Unless they have a 30-point plan up their sleeve. No Ben Simmons, so I don't think they're going to be able to make a comeback. What other tidbits you all taking from this game?
Brooklyn was shorthanded, so I mean,
will we beat a full strength Brooklyn? Who knows?
I mean, but you can win or lose any game in the NBA. But they took care of business,
right? They should beat this team.
Yeah,
if they lose this game, it might be a hot seat. Might be a hot seat game if they lost this.
I don't think.
6 straight games.
Well, I don't know. The air in Chicago is definitely ripe with firing coaches. So you might be right there, Zeke. Ayo DeSumo, 29 minutes, 16 points, 6 assists, another hair above 50% shooting, 1 of 5 from 3, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. Zach LaVine, 25 minutes, 18 points, 4 assists. A hair over 50% shooting, 3 from 7 from deep, 1 steal. Vucci Main, 28 minutes, 21 and 10. The incredible field goal shooting continues, 8 of 11 from the field. The incredible 3-point shooting continues, 3 from 5 from deep, and the incredible free throw shooting continues. 2 for 2.
Only when Zeke doesn't bet on him, he can't do that.
Well, Zeke, I don't know what you're waiting on. He's been doing this all season. I think the surprise off the bench for tonight has to be the young guy, Matas. 20 points, 5 boards, 1 assist, 70% from the field, 80% from 3, 2 blocks. I said that he's been coming on lately the last week and a half. I can foresee Matas being in that Rising Stars game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he definitely going to be in that.
Yeah, could be mess around, be Rising Stars MVP. We shall see.
See? Sneaky pick.
Sneaky pick, right? So the game is now final 128-102. Bulls are now 9-13 on the season. Next game on the Bulls is against the San Antonio Spurs on Thursday. Do you all like your chances against the Spurs, against the Fighting Wimbies?
No.
At San Antonio, nah.
Why not?
They don't play good in Texas. They've never played good in Texas, no matter what era.
Well, this is a new squad. I mean,
it don't matter the era the team is. That Texas triangle. San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, they never play good in those cities.
The San Antonio Spurs are 11-9 so far in the season. They have a differential of less than 1. They aren't any world beaters, but however, the Bulls are, like I said, 9-13. They have a differential of -6. So,
I wouldn't be shocked if they beat the Spurs, though.
You shouldn't be. I don't think the Spurs are great. I mean, they're not world beaters, even though they're a couple of games over 500. But the Bulls, they've been playing a little less than what I expect them to do. But we shall see.
I think we got Spurs and Pacers. I think we can go 1-1.
Hold on. Why are we playing Boston back to back Thursday, Saturday?
That's because of the in-season tournament stuff. It messes up the schedule. The scheduling gets kind of.
Yeah, man.
That's 2 losses.
You can split.
Is it a home and home? Like they go to Boston?
Yeah, at Boston and
at Chicago.
Here.
See, the thing with the Bulls having such a fast pace, you're never out of any game. If you can keep the tempo going, you can knock some shots down. You can beat anybody.
And they got some wing defenders, some wings that could. They got Terry, you got Phillips,
you got Lonzo.
You got Lonzo. These guys really do defend in that second unit.
Zeke, what about you?
2 wins, 3 losses out of the next 5. I don't think we've beaten Boston.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Zeke has them going 2-5 in the next 5. Rick has them as a positive week, over 500 week. Let's see when we come back for our next Bulls episode. Let's see who was right and who was wrong. I'm siding with Rick here. I think Zeke is a little too fair weather. All right, Sports Life of Hip Hop. Check them out. YouTube, Instagram. Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say 3 things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.